Okay, kids, going live. Sorry about that. We're going to go one more thing here. You ready? Speaking of shenanigans, that was some shenanigans going on in my between the countdown and my intro. Usually, I go to the background, but anyway, you don't need to know all that. This is Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California, where we have just so much going on. Since yesterday's show, I'm getting not pummeled. What's a good word? I'm getting information. I'm getting people, sending me information about. Either individuals or groups of people that are just simply out of control in our little local town here, which is Yorba, which is known as the land of gracious living. But we may have to change that to the land of a bunch of wackos that are amongst our people. Oh, and of course, now that I go live, I'm getting the call that I was expecting to get before I went live. I had been waiting, but it just came to me just now. But anyway, I'm going to have to answer that later on. Just a number of people that are sending me stuff about individuals, about groups of people that are attacking conservative Christians that are not even in the Yorba School District, of which the show was about yesterday, of people that simply just hate conservative Christians and calling us demons and racist and bigots and terrorists and all the crazy names that they love to call us. It's just really something else. It's just like I opened up a Pandora's box of people that live amongst us that is really... As we most of us know, we know that the country is mostly filled with not necessarily conservative Christians, but people that do not believe that we are a country of liberal lunatics or dimwit Democrats. That is a smaller group that yells and screams and has temper tantrums that cause people to be scared, corporations to be scared. Look what happened to Mike Lindell of My Pillow. And what I love is when they throw those temper tantrums and they cancel him out of Bed Bath and Beyond and Kohl's, and I think there was a couple other stores that they stopped carrying My Pillow because of these little children that are throwing temper tantrums. That what happens is that we do something what's called a boycott instead of a boycott. We do a boycott. Boycotts never work, by the way. And so what works better is a boycott, which I encourage people to buy as many My Pillow products as possible in retaliation to the stupidity of the liberals, democratic nitwits that are in our country, which again is I truly believe is much smaller than what people think. Look at what happens to CNN. CNN is just dropping in its ratings. They can't even stay in the airport because they can't afford it. That their audience is so small. The bigger audience are the conservative platforms like OAN and Newsmax, even Fox still on some level, but they've even dropped because they've gone to a little bit of the left. And so when we look at those things, when you look at the rallies of President Trump, you see the numbers of people that attend a President Trump rally as opposed to attend any event that a Democrat puts on. They have to pull people in. They count the liberal media that shows up as the head count for the people that show up, which really is not true. A true count of people. They have to be there because they're getting paid. They're not there because they want to, or necessarily they believe what it is that the speaker is speaking upon. So And so here we are in little Yorba Linda, California, where we have a number of people, including a teacher in the high school, who has taken it upon herself to demonize and to attempt to discredit somebody who the citizens in Yorba Linda voted for in the school board, and she's taken it upon herself that she's going to have this person either, in an attempt to force, Leandra to resign, which is not going to happen. Those people that know Leandra know she's not going to resign. And the other thing is that she's going to start a recall. This is the loser. So you have the person who lost to Leandra, who is the one who is heading up and joined forces with other dimwits in our community that are trying to pull a coup of some sort on a school board member, which is just crazy. So my update is this. My update is that I've sent out letters to the principal of the school, to the superintendent at the school board, at the school district, and to the interim principal at Yorba Linda High School to request an interview to see what their position is on this teacher recruiting children in the school to help her in her quest to force Leandra in an attempt to get Leandra to resign, or to help with the recall against. So the loser of the election is attempting, who is a teacher at Yorba Linda High School, is attempting to get students to help her do her dirty work, which is just, that's a little bit crazy, is it not? It would take a lunatic to do this. And this is who's teaching our kids, by the way. Overall, the Placentia Yorba Linda High School District, I have mostly good things to say in regard to the teachers that I've experienced. When I have listened in, and I do listen in, regardless if they want me to or not, I listen into the teachers that are teaching my kids and the Zoom calls, when they're on the Zoom calls. And I can tell you that I'm really encouraged and find the teachers that are teaching our students in my children's classes are all really, really good, and really find them to be exceptional people. My junior high schooler, the other day, they were talking about truth in media, strangely enough. And I know that's really not something that we, at least on these last 4 years, can say those two things go together, truth and media. But I really loved, I sat through the whole class to listen to what she had to say and what she was doing, and it was really, really good. I don't want to go into too many details because I just don't want to say anything wrong or misquote or do anything, but I can tell you that it was a really good, balanced discussion about what somebody watching the news or listening to the news needs to do to be able to discern the truth and not truth in a news story. And I thought the teacher did a really good job of doing this particular study with the students. So I'm really proud of the teacher that did that job. So I'm telling you that because I want to tell you that because we have one lunatic teacher at Yorba Linda High School who seems to be recruiting children to do her dirty work, that's not my experience with this school. So I'll be interested to see, as we continue this investigation, to see who is behind all this and what it is she's doing, and other people that are in the surrounding community that are not even in the school district, what it is that they're going to be doing. I can't wait to tell you more as I begin to learn more. All right. So that's the kind of the update. And I just want you to know that I'm getting more information that really says that this was wrong. So far, I have yet to get anything that supports their position that Leandra is a terrorist. All right. I have not seen anything yet from anybody that is pointed to in the direction that suddenly that Leandra, who goes from a police officer that served our country well, that served her community well, is somehow become a terrorist in the Yorba Linda School District. But whatever, we'll continue to look at this. First, let me say hi to Priscilla Hey, Priscilla, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Amy, hello. Thank you for keeping me up to date with some information that you're sending me. Good evening. You call it as it is. Good job. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. And Sandra, an old high school, elementary school friend. Great that you are so involved with your children's lessons online. Thank you. Yeah, well, I just want to be listening, and I want to know what's going on. And especially when they get into these topics, I want to say, okay, what are they going to? What's happening? What are they going to do? Again, this is about teaching our children, not influencing our children one way or another. Teaching the children to be discerning in what it is that they are learning and watching when they're not in school, deciding for themselves, understanding the different policies that people have and how it affects us in many ways in our economy, in our school systems, in our overall life, and the health of our overall as we live in our world, our overall health and what's going on. So. Sorry, I started to go on a couple other tangents here. All right, so the next part, and this is going to be actually a pretty short show because we have just so much going on. Hey, Hedia, nice to see you. I wanted to say something right now, but I'm going to hold off. But Hedia, of course, is a very important person to me. I may be lying if I say hello to my fiance. I'm not sure. But we're gonna keep a lid on that for a future show. But Hedia, I love you. Thanks for joining. And so what I simply wanted to come on and say, things are rolling in the investigation. I've received some text messages. Let me see. Actually, let me show you. Here's another. Here's something that's really interesting. Hold on, I got to find the image. There it is. So we have this interesting person that's in our community, and I'm gonna have to take off this other screen share that I had already planned. But let me just show you this. So I have an image here. This is a lady who apparently has nothing else to do but to attack people in the community, and she's known as what is her name? In minivan hell. And you gotta wonder, somebody who chooses a handle on Twitter as in minivan hell, how happy she is at being a parent. Right? That doesn't sound like she's very happy being a parent, but yet what she's doing, she's attacking anybody who was a conservative in our community. And of course, when she has an opportunity to say that somebody was at the rally there where the Capitol was breached, that she finds people and finds an opportunity to call them out because she has nothing else to do. And here she says, hey, Orange County Sheriff, y'all opening up an internal investigation or offering her a promotion sort of feel like it could go either way. On the far right is this photo. We see Orange County Sheriff Special Officer, and I won't say her name, Irvine, who happens to be at the rally showing support for the president. Now, did she go into the Capitol? Did she breach the Capitol? Did she do anything of the sort? The answer is probably no. I don't know anything about her. But this is the woman who is also helping the teacher at Yorba High School, who was the loser to Leandra in the effort to get her to resign or to begin a recall and begin a recall movement against the winner, which is ironic. So this woman has nothing else to do. She does not even live in the district, but yet she's finding it to be her position, her job to help in the recall of Leandra, who again is not even representative of her district, where if she has kids that go to school, as far as I know. Again, we're getting more details. We're finding out as things go on. All right, so we have that. The next thing is just simple. Yeah, tomorrow is an important day for us because it is the next stage for us conservative Christians on what it is we're going to do to save our country. Who cares who's being sworn in? We don't even care who's getting sworn in tomorrow. Nothing what they have planned is to the benefit of conservative Christians, not anything that I've seen. So tomorrow's a big day for us because this is where we begin our movement. Not that we could care less about the new presidency, because we know that is going to be something that is not going to be good for our country. I've not seen anything yet. It's not going to be good for our children. It's not going to be good for our children's future. Simply raising minimum wage to $15 across the nation is at a time where most businesses are struggling is just an example of they have no idea what it is they're doing. They have no idea what it is that is going to benefit our country, that a blanket decision to double minimum wage in many cases for these small businesses that are struggling. They don't realize that it's not just $15. You also have payroll taxes, you have benefits, you have a number of other things that cost individual employers on top of whatever they're claiming that the minimum wage is. So it's not just the minimum wage. So just to name one aspect of it, right? I don't need to go through the whole economics of everything, because you obviously, those of you that are watching have common sense and understanding that when a company right now is struggling, trying to even keep somebody on board at, say, $10 an hour, that now you're going to force them at a time that they can barely pay somebody $10 an hour. You're going to force them to pay now $15 an hour. They're not going to have any choice but to fire the person or to close their shop or to close businesses. This is so I'm just telling you that it's not about who's being sworn in tomorrow. It's about where we go. Tomorrow is a big day for us and where it is that we are going to go as conservative Christians and conservatives, true conservatives, not the false conservatives, not the false teachers, not the people that believe in false gods. Those of us that actually have some common sense and understand what needs to happen moving forward. Tomorrow is a big day for us because this is where our new world begins. Where we're going to go, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how hard are we going to fight, what it is, where we're going to meet when we need to meet. A whole bunch of stuff is going to begin tomorrow, and our world is completely changing in the way that we are going to be viewing our world from this point. How strong are you going to be? How strong are you going to be? Are you going to be weak? Are you going to hide? Are you going to pretend it's not happening and go silent again? What is it you're going to do? Tomorrow is a big day for you to make a decision. Are you going to be part of the team? Are you going to be part of the anchor dragging us because you cannot muster up enough effort to speak out? You cannot muster up enough effort to join us, that you simply are going to let our country fall to a group of people that have no interest other than power and the destruction of the country and our Constitution. You being silent, you're complicit in the destruction of our country. I've talked to this on the devotional, and I may have talked about it before in one of my regular broadcasts at the Andy Falco show, and that is in God's view that you had during the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, during the process of him being beaten and then carrying the cross through the streets and being spit upon and being cursed at, that those people that stood by and watched and did nothing were equally as guilty as those that were causing the pain, that those that were spitting on him, that those that were calling him names along the way. Those people that stood by and did nothing are equally as guilty as those that participated in the beating of Jesus Christ as he was being crucified. And so this is where we begin tomorrow. Who are you going to be? Are you going to be one of them? Are you going to be simply standing by and watching and saying nothing and doing nothing and being silent? Then you are going to be complicit in the fall of this country if it falls. And so tomorrow is a big day. And that is why I decided to go on today and discuss this matter. That what is it you're going to do? And that's why that's all my messages. I'm going to leave you with I'm going to come back and I'm going to share part of President Trump's farewell message today, which is very powerful. I have a number of people, even people close to me, who say that Donald Trump, President Trump, has caused so much pain, and even the people that support him say lately. And again, what we get caught up on, and what we unfortunately have, is what has happened to some of the rhinos, what has happened to some of the Republicans, is they get sucked in to this narrative and they don't listen to his words. When you listen to his word, at no time did he say, go to the Capitol and riot and destroy it and do anything, right? He said, go peacefully as patriots and tell them how you feel. Oh, but that was really what he was really telling them to do, was to attack. And so this is the narrative they want you to believe, that everything that he says, every word that he utters is an attack on Democrats. Right, that he wants to destroy our country, that he is a racist, that he is a terrorist, that he is a bigot, that he is a homophobe. Every word that he said, they give him a lot of power. These liberals, they really believe that he is a god, right? They really believe that he is something else, right? They have no problem saying that he's stupid and a dimwit and a loser, but yet they give him all this power, that every word he utters has so much power. But when you listen to his words, when you truly listen to what he says, I'm sitting there going, I have no idea where they get this. But they want to believe that every time he says be a patriot, that he's saying be evil. Every time that he says to be peaceful, that he's saying attack. That every time he says make America great again, that he's saying make America the terrorist of the world. Right? That every word that they say, they turn it into something else completely different. And unfortunately, I know people that are patriots, that are Republicans, and go, yeah, he shouldn't have said make America great. That is really bad. Right? That he shouldn't have said patriotly and peacefully go to the Capitol, because, you know, people could take that wrong. What is happening to you? What you like many other are losing your minds. Stay with us. Don't do it. Don't go crazy. You're buying into this narrative that even when he says nice things, that he means things that are evil. You are buying into it. I'm going to play a little bit of his speech today, which was magnificent. He laid out again what all the great things that he did while he was president. And again, people are saying that, well, when he says he got peace in the Middle East, that somehow that's bad. When he says that, you know, he's bringing the troops home, well, that's bad. When he says that he's the only president that has never started a war or continued a war in our history, that is bad. That he has done more for the black community, that is bad. When he's done more for the Hispanic community, that is bad. When he has created the best economy our country has ever seen, somehow that is bad. Right? No matter what he says, it really is a wacky. They've even affected you sometimes, the Republican. Some of my friends that are Republicans, you're even saying that, yeah, well, you know, we just need to distance ourselves from President Trump. And sometimes I go, you know, maybe that's true, but other times I go, but why? But why? Because maybe you don't like that he was a business. The great thing is that the one thing that I can say that I love more than anything else as conservative Christians or conservatives or even Republicans is that we are able to get a regular man or woman, or it doesn't matter that he's a man. Listen, I know people get all crazy when I say man. Man is evil. Man is bad. But we're able to get a person. Is that okay with you? Oh my God, even I'm being affected. Okay, I'm going to say it. We got a man into the presidency who is like us. Oh, I know. No, he's a billionaire. No, he got a non-politician. How about that? A non-politician who had common sense, who knows how to run a business. I know he's bankrupted a couple, but all business owners have had highs and lows. Trust me, I've had highs and lows. That we got a regular man who knows how to run a business, go in there and do things that nobody's been able to do before. The only president not to start a war, the only president to bring peace in the Middle East, the only president to take our economy higher than it's ever been before, the only president to do more for the black community than any other president, including the black president, Bill Clinton. And then what that other guy that wasn't quite black, Obama, right? He did more than those two for the black community. Why? Because he was a regular guy, because he wasn't a politician. So tomorrow, as we're leaving this era of not being ruled by a politician, we're going to be going in to being led by a politician that does not have the Americans' best interests in mind. The only thing he has in mind is staying in power. Right? He's been able to stay. This guy that's coming in, this dimwit, this guy with dementia that somehow people think doesn't have dementia. There's maybe 5-6 people that maybe think he doesn't have dementia, but everybody knows he has dementia. They think it's okay to put a guy like that who's been dumb his entire career, who has never been on the correct side of a vote to save his life, that you now think that suddenly he's going to be different as president. That's like marrying a wife beater and thinking, well, I know that he's had 3 other marriages where he's beat his wives, but you know what? I'm going to change him. I'm going to make him different. No, you're not. He's going to beat you too. All right. So that you think that somehow he's going to be different, that he's not going to be the pedophile type guy that he was before and petting the children as we've seen on film on video. If you think that somehow he's going to be different, you're wrong. If you think Kamala Harris, the person that could not get voted in the early stages of the Democratic Party primaries, that you thought that because that somehow because she couldn't even make it through that process, that now she's going to make a great president, you guys are crazy. You've lost your mind. So it is important what's going to be happening tomorrow is not what's happening for them. It is a new era for us. What is it that we're going to be doing moving forward? Are we going to stay strong, or are you going to be hiding? I know I am repeating myself, but I want to just repeat myself. I'm telling you, what is it you are going to do tomorrow? To wake up, to not be silent, to be part of the church, not against the church. What is it you're going to do for God, not against God? What are you going to do for your children, not against your children? What is it you are going to do? Laying and putting your head in the sand and hiding in your house underneath a blanket, sucking your thumb is not going to work. That's how we got into this position. And so we need to wake up. All right, let me play a little bit of President Trump's, and it's that I would actually go and watch the whole thing. I think it's fantastic. And again, people are going to say, well, look at that. He's saying that America's great. That means that it's horrible. You guys are nuts. All right. So let's play a little bit of President Trump here and just enjoy a little bit of these words that he says towards the end about. And again, prior to this, there's a whole bunch of other accomplishments that he points out that during his presidency were able to be arrived at, and he was able to do because he's not a politician. So let's just listen to this part here.
Nations of the world to stand up to China like never before. We obliterated the ISIS caliphate and ended the wretched life of its founder and leader, al-Baghdadi. We stood up to the oppressive Iranian regime and killed the world's top terrorist, Iranian butcher Qasem Soleimani. We recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. As a result of our bold diplomacy and principled realism, we achieved a series of historic peace deals in the Middle East. Nobody believed it could happen. The Abraham Accords opened the doors to a future of peace and harmony, not violence and bloodshed. It is the dawn of a new Middle East, and we are bringing our soldiers home. I am especially proud to be the first president in decades who has started no new wars. Above all, we have reasserted the sacred idea that in America, the government answers to the people. Our guiding light, our North Star, our unwavering conviction has been that we are here to serve the noble, everyday citizens of America. Our allegiance is not to the special interests, corporations, or global entities. It's to our children, our citizens, and to our nation itself. As president, my top priority, my constant concern has always been the best interests of American workers and American families. I did not seek the easiest course. By far, it was actually the most difficult. I did not seek the path that would get the least criticism. I took on the tough battles, the hardest fights, the most difficult choices, because that you elected me to do. Your first and last unyielding focus. This, I hope, will be our greatest legacy. Together, we put the American people back in charge of our country. We restored self-government. We restored the idea that in America, no one is forgotten because everyone matters and everyone has a voice. We fought for the principle that every citizen is entitled to equal dignity, equal treatment, and equal rights, because we are all made equal by God. Everyone is entitled to be treated with respect, to have their voice heard, and to have their government listen. You are loyal to your country, and my administration was always loyal to you. We worked to build a country in which every citizen could find a great job and support their wonderful families. We fought for the communities where every American could be safe and schools where every child could learn. We promoted a culture where our laws would be upheld, our heroes honored, our history preserved, and law-abiding citizens are never taken for granted. Americans should take tremendous satisfaction in all that we have achieved together. It's incredible. Now, as I leave the White House, I have been reflecting on the dangers that threaten the priceless inheritance we all share. As the world's most powerful nation, America faces constant threats and challenges from abroad. But the greatest danger we face is a loss of confidence in ourselves, a loss of confidence in our national greatness. A nation is only as strong as its spirit. We are only as dynamic as our pride. We are only as vibrant as the faith that beats in the hearts of our people. No nation can long thrive that loses faith in its own values, history, and heroes, for these are the very sources of our unity and our vitality.
Sorry about that. I didn't mute my mic right away. But I want to leave that last part, is that he leaves so much up to us. And it will be up to us as we move forward to take what it is that he was able to accomplish and move forward, and now move forward without President Trump and as conservative Christians. Jack Hibbs, our pastor at the church that I attend with Hedia at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, and many of you that watch also enjoy watching, is that he was asked a question about what are you going to do now that President Trump isn't in power, that the Christian movement and conservative Christians are going to fall apart, as if Donald Trump was our God. And no, that again, this is really bizarre, that just because he's no longer president doesn't now mean that all conservative Christians or conservatives now just give up and say that, oh, now there's nothing for us to do, or now we have nobody to follow, or what? President Trump was just one man on earth who had the ability to shake things up, to waken people up, to expose the demons that are in our republic. And now we know who they are. Many of them are also Republicans, right? And so we're able to see them. He shined light on the devils and the demons that are in our government. He shined light on them. And God used President Trump, I believe, for that purpose. And maybe only for that purpose. Who knows? I mean, a lot of other good things were done, but the main purpose is that now light has been shined on those that we need to now vote out, be wary of, and not allow to control us or our country. So I think the fact that God used President Trump in many ways, we need to be thankful to God for that. Now that Donald Trump is not president, does that mean that our values change? Does that mean that our efforts to change our country change? No, it's just that we don't have him there. We just continue on and we move on. The good news is now we know who the Republicans are that we can't trust, that need to be voted out very clearly, especially towards the end. I think that was one of the greatest things towards the end of the presidency, is that now we're able to see that Lindsey Graham is not on our side, that there are a great deal of other people that are not on our side. They are weak. They are weak-kneed people. They could not stand there for the fight. We thought they could. Some people, I'm a little bit questionable, but Dan Crenshaw, right? Dan Crenshaw, you thinking, wow, he's so strong. And then all of a sudden you see some weakness. You see some weakness in his dedication to our cause. Liz Cheney, you just like, okay, now we know we got to get her out. And so as we move forward, we know now who to vote out. We know now who not to trust, and we know now what our focus is on, and that is to come back even stronger, to follow God's word, to pray, to be active in our communities, starting at the lower level. That's why I started with what's happening here in Yorba Linda, just to kind of show you these are where these problems start. These are like little sparks of things that we need to put out these fires early on. Don't wait until they get to the federal level and our forest fires. We need to start locally and put out these little fires and then address the bigger problem that we have in our federal government. All right, my friends. Love you guys. Got to get to cooking dinner for the kids. I appreciate you coming on and listening to the update and what we tomorrow's our day. It's not their day. It's our day. Our day starts tomorrow. And so I want all of you to wake up, be in the fight, and let's move forward. All right, my friends. Love you guys. Yeah, God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow. I know I have something that I'm going to say tomorrow. All right, my friends. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.